Welcome to Tuddy Talk. It is week 10, and my name is Brittany. I am the manager of my team with the speech prepared. We could all have a moment as one, together, the BDE Fantasy League. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, and fellow fantasy football enthusiasts, we gather here today to bid a fond farewell to Brittany's fantasy football team. Specifically, the chances of anything other than dead fucking last. While it may not have been a real team, it was a source of joy, frustration, and camaraderie throughout the entire season. Brittany's team may not have won championships, or quite frankly, anything, except for one weekly challenge. But it was a testament to her dedication, her unwavering support, and her endless hope in the face of adversity. She tirelessly scoured the waiver wires for a fourth-string running back, agonized over trade offerings, which, had they been accepted, would likely have placed her between 8th and 10th place, but that's just part of the game, baby. And passionately defended her roster choices, even when they defied all logic. In the world of fantasy football, Brittany's team was a symbol of the ups and downs, the triumphs and tribulations that we all experience. It reminded us that the unpredictable nature of the game is what makes it so exciting, and that victory is sweet because of the defeats we endure. She wouldn't know that because she was only defeated. However, that's not the point, is it? It's the principle. As we say goodbye to Brittany's playoff dreams, as well as the longing for anything except for dead fucking last, let us remember the lessons it taught us, the importance of camaraderie, the value of perseverance, and the sheer fun of the game. It may not have won any titles or, again, anything, but it was a championship in its own right, bringing us together and creating memories that will last a lifetime. Would the producers like to share any memories that they have of Brittany's football team?
Joe Burrow. What a great guy.
Oh, yes.
He's a great guy. Cole Kmet has been such a big surprise this year. One of the best tight ends in the league. But unfortunately, it stops there. Because nothing happens 6 feet under. Stays under.
I would like to bring up her draft night pick. Round 1. She decided to go with the rookie unknown. I don't want to say phenom. Bijan Robinson.
Over Austin Eckler.
Over Austin Eckler, who, well, I don't know if she would have done better, but it might have made her feel a little better when Austin scores 30 points. While Bijan goes out sick after 2 snaps. So, that's got to be rough on the manager of that team, but I guess we'll never know because she's not making the playoffs.
In the spirit of sportsmanship, let us raise our glasses to Brittany's fantasy football team. May it rest in peace in the annals of BDE Fantasy League history. Thank you for the memories, and may your next season be filled with success and triumph. This is not a goodbye forever, but a goodbye for now. Rest easy, Jason Bateman, Baroto Bowl, All-Time Joe, Charbonnet Evans, collecting very lil points, Olave Garden, Tucker, I hardly know her, really just the Vikings, and Addison and Madison. May you fly high next year. Thank you for your time.
Well, I don't know what the shit that was, but...
And back to our regularly scheduled program.
Welcome to Tuddy Talk. This is technically going to be the Week 10 podcast, but we have to record it before Monday Night Football has even started.
Yep.
This is because, well, as many of you may know, Brittany and I will be leaving the country for a little bit, so this is the last one in person for a couple weeks at least. We are unfortunately not going to do any power rankings because we do not know who's going to win or lose. As it stands right now, I am projected to win against Brittany. Scott's projected to get blown out by Sammy and Zach. Chris and Gifford, it's looking like it's going to be Gifford, which I don't know how much you want me to talk about that.
The history has been well documented on the Tuddy Talk about my luck on Monday Night Football, and I do not need any jinxing tonight. Chris, I hope you win.
There you go. Keenan Allen, 40-point game tonight.
Yep.
That's what we're looking at.
Bank on it.
Next, we have Apple and Tommy. Their matches.
Tommy needs Garrett Wilson to break his leg.
If Garrett Wilson scores less than 3 points, Tommy wins. And I mean, to be honest, that's very possible with the Jets.
And we do need that to happen because we need Apple to come down a little bit.
On that same note, we need Eric. I need Eric to come down another level because
Which
he
did.
he is standing in my way of making the playoffs, and he's currently already their game's over, and he got beat by over 53 points.
Yes.
He scored 50 and a half this week.
Gino! One of the comments on the Seahawks social media page was like, Gino wrote back a 20-page essay. Wow.
This is just a couple comments from Gino's write-up right here. Thanks, pal.
Thanks
for nothing. Unbelievable bum. Had to play this bum because of the bye week. Can't wait to drop. Once again, I don't know how they are 5-4 or 5-3 with this guy. Horrible.
This guy let me win. Thank you.
I literally don't know if he can be trusted anymore. And just skull emojis. Thank you, Gino, for your contribution to this massive, extraordinary L that Eric is taking against Nate. Next up is Paris versus Titani.
Rough.
And I have to eat my words hard on this one. I said that Paris could win this one in her sleep after that performance on Thursday Night Football.
By
for
Will
Titani.
Levis.
Oh my god. Paris, what the hell, man? I mean, Amari Cooper did well, 25 points.
And that's about where it ended.
Yeah, even Mahomes didn't break 20. Everybody else was sub 10. Just brutal.
Your best receiver all year, Adam Thielen, did not show up. Chris Godwin had a dud. Yeah. And Dallas Goedert is officially out for at least 4 to 6 weeks.
Jeez.
So
just another hit that your team has taken. When does Achane get back?
I don't know. I thought he'd be back by now, not gonna lie.
Looks like week 11 is his chance to recover. So he's still got another week after this podcast. So yeah, it's looking rough for you for a little bit. Titani, congrats on that win. Your guys' game is over as well. Yeah. What do you have to talk about?
Well, thank you, Titani, for that win. Brings me closer to the predictions record. Also, Scott, thank you again for losing. Brings me closer to the prediction record as well. So, brings me in 2 games. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
This game is going to come down to the wire. Devin versus Brittany.
Right.
He needs Eckler and Bryce to perform, which is not guaranteed anymore. It is not guaranteed for these running backs to get 10 points.
That's true. I mean, last week Eckler got 20 and Brees got almost 20.
Yes.
So last week they did what they're supposed to do, but I mean, obviously not a guarantee. Chargers versus Jets, that'll be tough. I also have a secret weapon in Mr. Dicker. Cameron Dicker, my kicker, will be going off against against Brittany's Los Angeles Chargers defense. That's all she has left. I need I need the Jets to score a lot of points. Let's just say that. We are projected 109 to 106. I am still projected to win, but that means nothing because...
Too close for comfort. And you know what I need? I need Keenan Allen to calm the fuck down. I need him to relax, take some laxative before the game, shit your pants, something. Because I need to win this week. It is desperation mode. I have 2 duds on my team this week.
2 duds. Gabe Davis and
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
Thank you very much for that. And yeah, it's win or go home at this point.
All right. Well, moving on to something a little more positive. I want to go over some of the standouts that we have from Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna start. We're gonna go team by team. We'll do our teams last, just because we're humble hosts. Okay. So one from each team, maybe. First up, I want to say congratulations to Alexander Madison on Brittany's team. Just crazy. I think this is one of his best weeks. It is his best week of the year.
16 points.
When Kirko is out, Josh Dobbs has to come in and win the game against the Atlanta Falcons. What a game. Honestly, I had so much fun.
With Hunter Henry getting into double digits, I will throw that out there, but I want to say Cole Kmet, 2 touchdowns on the bench, 20 points.
20 and a half down there.
Quietly has been one of the most underrated tight ends in the league, and could be utilized more maybe as a flex. At this point in Brittany's lineup, he's been pretty reliable. So
Yeah. KJ Osborne was taken out, it looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah, he got a concussion this last
Another
week.
Viking getting hurt.
Man, your team is ravaged. Along with Josh Palmer, that was a last-minute thing.
And now with Curtis Samuel being banged up, now it's back to Jahan Dotson season, unfortunately. So it's
And-
just a pendulum swing.
We didn't even, well, I guess you mentioned Joe Burrow during her funeral.
Yes.
But he went off this week again, almost 30 points.
He
against
had
the
30
Bills.
points.
He had 28.
Oh, okay, yeah,
28,
28.3.
but yeah.
He's looking back to his normal self. That's the Joe Burrow that we know.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to Sammy's team. Sammy and Zach, we are looking at it, and man, we're going to talk a little bit more about it later, but Houston went off all around.
Half of the players on this list is going to be on Houston.
Absolutely.
For
So
sure.
this includes Dalton Schultz. Your tight end just killed it with 24 points
Yes.
out there. Man, it was nice too. I don't want to talk about him. But we will soon. Outside of that, Raheem Mostert got back after a bumpy week last week. Jacoby Myers, I think he scored a touchdown this week, didn't he? Or did that get called back? Yeah, he scored a touchdown.
Baker, solid.
Baker did well. Stephon, even in a loss, got you almost 20 points.
I was looking at Stefan's stats. He hasn't scored under double digits all year.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He doesn't get talked about as much,
No.
which is just wild to me. I don't know how. Devontae Adams still gets more press than Stephon.
And with Scott, at least you picked a good defense this week, buddy. That's all we got to say.
Yeah, 20 points for the Raiders. That's impressive.
Danny Dimes is out for the year, tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm. That
So-
makes sense. I picked up the Giants and they had -1 points.
Yeah.
So I had the other side of that. I guess your guy would also be a Houston Texan.
I guess Nico Collins came through with 13 points.
Nico got you 13. I like that. That's good. We're keeping with the positives. On to, let's see, Chris over here. Now, Jalen Hurts, he has a Q next to his name. Why is that?
Questionable.
Questionable. He played through a knee injury.
Mm.
Someone help that man. He has pain in his knee.
But obviously for
Doesn't
Chris,
deserve
the biggest standout from his team this week was Taysom Hill. 20
I
points.
was about to say Tyreek.
Taysom Hill with another 20 points. It is looking like the Saints are starting to revolve the offense around him. And it's annoying because now the Saints wide receivers are unreliable. So thank you, Taysom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He had a receiving touchdown and
A throwing touchdown.
A passing touchdown. That's Jesus. Yeah, 20 points from Taysom Hill after he was projected for 2 points. Like you said,
Kept you in the game.
projections mean nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's about all on your team because everybody else kind of shit the bed. Up next, Rip Kyler versus Young Hose, Apple and Tommy.
Ramondre Stevenson came out from the bushes.
He had that long ass run.
He had that long ass run in
So
it.
happy.
And it's a good sign for Apple. It's look like Ramondre from last year. Stat padding, getting touchdowns, and with CMC out, that's exactly what he needed to squeak by. He hates it when I say this. Squeaked by another victory. He told me that.
Okay, well he hasn't done it yet. We still need Garrett Wilson to show up.
True.
All right.
Very true.
On the other side, we have Tommy, and his breakout or his standout player this week was Younghoe Koo. Younghoe, after being dropped by Tommy for a couple weeks, got picked back up and put up 20 points. 19.2 points against Minnesota. Just outstanding performance from your kicker. Other than that, I mean, Joe Mixon had a solid day at 15. You had solid players all around, but obviously your kicker is...
The 1 week Taylor Swift did not show up to Travis's game. Seems like that might have cost him the
scored
week.
3 points.
Yeah.
And then I guess we can say Baltimore did you well, but I don't give a shit. Football's not real. I hate the Seahawks.
Eric, you showed up. That's about
Gus Bus. What do you mean?
Oh, Gus Bus.
The only shining light in this, again, Ravens. Gus. He shat on the Seahawks this
Gus
week.
and Keenan Mitchell just... Yeah.
Well, Lamar got like less than 15, so...
Mark did his
What the
job,
fuck,
Joe.
man?
What's up, Marky? Yeah,
Stupid. What a dumb week. The Seahawks lost and Lamar did bad.
Yeah.
Whatever. Moving on to Nate. Josh Allen did well, but that's not exciting. Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor both did well. Again, not exciting.
No.
Really, nothing too crazy. That's standout. Tyreek Hill got under 10 points.
Against the Chiefs.
There you go. We just said Stephon Diggs hasn't gone under 10 points, but Tyreek has.
Multiple weeks.
Yeah. Your team, I mean, it's solid all around, but obviously no real big standouts, I would say. On to Tatani and Paris. Tatani,
Rashad White.
Rashad White, CeeDee Lamb, and Josh Jacobs all over 20 points.
CeeDee Lamb is on a roll right now.
Mm-hmm.
He is hot.
Let's go ahead and talk about Rashad White real quick. He had 73 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns with 46 receiving yards to put along.
Again, Scott, sorry.
So yeah, great performance for him against the Houston Texans. Unfortunately, he ended up losing.
Josh Jacobs, another 2 touchdowns added to the total.
Josh Jacobs is coming alive. I mean, he kind of did it earlier too. But he's been really good for like 6 weeks now.
Yes.
Besides the 4-point week against the Bears. Jeez. Okay. But yeah, 98 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns for the Raiders running backs.
CeeDee Lamb.
CD had a fumble and still scored 26 points. For
Insane. 191
16 targets.
191 receiving yards.
Oh my god. I did not look at that.
And this,
all in an L.
And this is the reason why Tony Pollard has been struggling, because he can't get any touches. Dak is like, woo, CD.
Well, the last 2 weeks, but before that, no, I guess in week 6 he did okay. But
Yeah.
He's been.
CD's on that AJ Brown diet.
He complained, poor guy. And then of course we talked about Will Levis. He sucked. On the other side, Paris, the only person that we talked about it earlier, Amari Cooper, in a 27-0 victory over Arizona. He got 131 receiving yards, a reception touchdown on 5 targets and 5 receptions.
Crazy.
So very little.
Are we gonna bring up that Patrick Mahomes has low key been a bust this year?
He kind of has been. But, it says season rank is 4.
Which is insane. But, only 2 30-point games.
Yeah. He's not what I expected. There hasn't been much of a difference between him and, say, Josh Allen.
Right.
Which is, they were both selected pretty high. But still, Patrick Mahomes, what the heck, man? So yeah, Amari Cooper's your only guy there. So I guess it's time to finally talk about our 2 teams.
Yes.
Now, I want to start with the quarterback on this team. C.J. Stroud killed it against Tampa Bay.
Unbelievable.
57.8 points for the rookie. He set a rookie passing yard record with 470 passing yards.
Wow.
5 passing touchdowns, a 2-point conversion. C.J. Stroud was a monster this week. And honestly, it just kept on getting better and better.
Game-winning touchdown, 6 seconds left, something that Dak has never been able to do.
They had, less than a minute to go all the way down the field, and he did it.
They had a stat. I don't know if you saw this. They said in the amount of games C.J. Stroud has played this year, he has more passing touchdowns than Kenny Pickett has in his whole career.
I believe it.
In 13 less
Kenny
games.
Pickett's ass, dude. But, on that last drive, I just want to talk about this specifically because he had a secret weapon. He's been balling out all game, but this last drive added on another 50 yards and a touchdown.
Right.
Tank Dell came through in the clutch.
Two tough catches.
For the Houston Texans.
Two tough catches, for sure.
Insane. 2 rushing attempts for 2 yards, so whatever, but 6 receptions for 114 and 2 receiving touchdowns on 11 targets. This guy, inconsistent, but when he goes off, it's great to see.
He pops off.
Tank Dell is my savior this week because I'm facing the 12th place team and it's way too close for comfort. I'm not happy with the rest of my team's output.
Yes, again, thank you, CJ, for covering my 2 duds. It really... I couldn't thank you enough, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to throw a little shout out to Fergie out here real quick. Jake Ferguson got almost 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't ask for a better tight end right now. Sorry,
Did you start him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sat Njoku, but he got 10 points. I was starting to regret it. I was like, oh no. This is one of Njoku's best weeks. But then Fergie pulled it out for me. So we're good. We're all right. All right. So now that is all over, we gloated. We talked about last week. We are going to go ahead and talk about week 10. Okay. Our predictions for week 10 before we get out of here. First up, we're going to talk about Apple versus Scott. R.I.P. Kyler versus Just In Case.
And
you got Tua out on bye. You also have Jake Elliott out on bye. But you get CMC back. And, I mean...
Kyler might come back next week.
Right, he could come back as well. So, really, you're covered everywhere you go.
Yes.
I think that you're going to win. Scott has no buys next week. Oh, excuse me, Puka. Puka's on bye next week.
Oh, that's even worse.
No. Scott is going to have a rough time next week as well. I'm going with Apple next week.
Me too. It is not going to be very competitive.
Mm-hmm. Alan Moore's Watchmen versus Sammy Genius Team and Zach 2. This is Nate and Sammy. In this one, what are you thinking? I see only Harrison Butker on bye for Nate.
I just think...
oh, shit. How do I miss that? Tyreek is out.
Tyreek is out.
Damn. And Philly.
I'm gonna take Nate because I just think his core...
You just gave him Calvin Ridley?
Well, I got Gabe in return, but he just gave me a donut. He gave me a donut, so... I need a wide receiver, but I'm gonna go with Nate because I think his core is just too strong. His 2 running backs are staying healthy and starting to produce, and Josh is 20 plus every week. It's just ridiculous. So I think it's just gonna be too much.
We mentioned Tyreek being out on bye, but that also means that Raheem Mostert on the other side is going to be out as well.
Yes.
As well as Isaiah Pacheco also out.
Yeah, that's a big hit.
Those are 2 big hits for Sammy and Zach. Let's see, who do you have to replace them?
Nobody.
Justice Hill.
And that's not gonna.
That's it.
That's not gonna do it justice.
No, it's not.
No.
You're gonna have to climb that hill. All right. Next. Oh, sorry. If it's not obvious, I'm picking Nate.
Me too.
Next up is Chris versus Tommy. Good luck, Gif. I assume you're gonna change the name and Young Hose. Now, Jalen Hurts, Cooper Kupp, DeAndre Swift, all out on bye. Rashee Rice, obviously, and Darrell Henderson.
No Jeff Wilson.
A bunch of guys just on bye.
You know what? Tommy's winning that week.
Oh.
Tommy,
You know what?
Tommy's gonna win that week.
I could see it.
Tommy's winning that week.
All right.
Tommy's winning next
Well,
week.
he has Travis Kelce out on bye.
Shit.
And he no longer has a tight end.
It don't matter. He got ETN coming back.
ETN is coming back. I think if there's ever a week for you to beat Chris, Tommy, it's next week. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Tommy too. Actually, yeah. I like that. Talk me into it. Let's move on to Eric and Brittany. As much as I want to say that Brittany gets her first win, this is all assuming that I win this week as well.
Right. Goff comes back, so Gino's gonna be on the bench.
Right.
Probably starts Aaron Jones.
Waddle is out for Eric though.
Okay.
And that puts in Darius Slayton, who is now dealing with a backup over there.
Yes.
Unless you put Evan Ingram in there for Brandon Cooks, and Brandon Cooks goes on. Well, it doesn't matter. We're not discussing it. What the fuck? I'm going to continue picking Brittany. I don't care. You have Royce Freeman on bye, but that doesn't matter at all. KJ Osborne might not be back from his concussion. You have a few places to throw some people in. How's Kyron recovering? Week 12. You're expecting him to be back week 12. That's rough. But I'm still going to pick Brittany. I'm going with Brittany over Eric next week.
Have we agreed on all the picks so far?
Yes.
Yeah, Eric's going to win this week.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to go to your matchup. You are facing Tatani.
Yeah.
And you got AJ Brown out next week. That's a huge hit. Monumental hit.
Yes.
To your team. Who are you going to put in there? Christian Watson, Tyler Boyd, Jonathan Mingo?
I think Mingo's not going to be on my team next week.
Or you can throw Gabe Davis up there and put in
Javonte's going to start,
yeah?
for sure.
Okay. There you go. It's not... It could be worse.
Yes.
Yeah. But, CeeDee Lamb's going against the Giants, so he's gonna feast. I'm picking Tatani.
You're fine. I totally understand. Tatani's been scoring a usually good amount of points, which is not good. But I gotta pick me. I gotta talk this into, I talked myself with no confidence going in against Chris this week, and I need to do the same thing. I'm the underdog here, and it feels great. I'm used to being the underdog. I'm used to being down here, and I'm gonna grind out a win next week.
All right.
That's what's gonna happen.
I like it. Finally, the last matchup that we have is me versus Paris. And, starting out, you got Mahomes out on bye. Goddard got hurt, but he's also on bye, so he can take
Let's
this
just
week.
cut the shit here.
I'm winning.
You're winning this week because Paris is on 14 crutches.
Yeah, I get Amon-Ra back. Devontae Smith is out, but he's been okay. And Tank Dell might stay in the starting position over Christian Kirk. We'll see.
It is looking very bleak for Paris right now.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to win that one.
Yes.
And I think we're going to cut it short today because I still have to pack. I have to book a rental car. I have to find accommodations to stay wherever we're going. I have a lot to do, so I'm going to wrap it up and call it there. Thank you guys for playing. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see everybody in week 11.
And I just want you guys to know this. I'm in 11th place right now after my 126-point performance. If I win, 3 teams lose. Scott, Paris, and I forgot who else. Eric loses.
Mm-hmm.
I could jump into 7th or 8th place. And I'm right on that fucking doorstep, baby. I'm right there again. And,
we both can still make the playoffs.
And the league's in trouble.
League is in trouble.
We'll see you in week 11.
See ya.